What is going on, YouTube? Let's reminisce about a place we have not been for years.
The pawn shop. It used to be one of the greatest places we could go to.
Epic.
And yeah, it was epic. I mean, if you go back and look at Fanta Finds, which is now Fantavision, if you go back and look at the old videos, we used to put our old videos about game hunting because we had so many finds that we had to have two channels to not overwhelm one.
We'd have thrift stores, we'd have garage sales, and then these pawn shops were the in-between. And I remember a few times we went to the thrift stores and we ended up falling back to these pawn shops.
Oh my god.
What'd you see?
Seen in this video, we missed something. I saw a Lord of the Rings game on there for the Xbox 360. Most of the Lord of the Rings games for the Xbox 360 are very hard to come by.
Yeah.
And GameStop sells them for about $35 used.
Still?
And
this was 2012.
So, this is 2012.
But this was basically the game. Pawn shops have generic prices. If a game is quote unquote new, it'll be $5. If a game is quote unquote old, it'll be $2. And then of course the NES games were. We had a debate about this. You said 25 cents.
They were really cheap. That's all I remember. Is this when you went with me?
Yeah, this is all of our pawn shops.
When I went alone, I think it was really, really cheap. It was stupid cheap. I bought like a Trader Joe's bag. 2 Trader Joe's bags worth of NES games.
I think they were way under $1. It was like coins.
Something stupid like
per NES game.
And then they had GameCube games. This actual location doesn't exist anymore.
It's like a music shop.
It's just a music pawn shop now.
I drove by it the other day. It just has like guitars and stuff inside.
Look at all these NES games. This is not something you see anymore. You don't walk into a pawn shop. You don't see NES games anymore.
Never.
You rarely even see GameCube games. Actually,
I was going to say that with GameCube, exactly.
Yeah,
I never see GameCube games.
I went hunting the other day, actually, with one of my friends, hoping to make a video about pawn shops again. But I went to them, half of them don't have PS2 games. They don't have GameCube games
anymore.
It's all Xbox 360 and PS3, which I don't care about.
I think the last find I had that was even decent at a pawn shop was a Silent Hill game for $2, and that was like 2013. So it's been years. They either discovered the bubble or are so ignorant to the bubble that they stopped taking in people's retro games, thinking they're worthless.
Yeah.
One of the two things happened. But I remember all these games. Literally like maybe 50 cents, maybe 20 cents a game. I forgot what it was.
Something stupidly cheap. I think when I went with you it was 50 cents. Here we're looking at the table or somebody's finger.
This was the cell phone days.
Was this the cell phone days?
Cell phone days.
Oh yeah. So that was it was a game that was a close up of. There's Marble Madness. Kari Warriors, it's a great game.
All these finds and pretty much all the finds for the rest of the video are like behind the counters. You remember we'd ask about these?
Oh yeah.
And they'd go find that. They went and found that big saran wrapped NES, and then the RPGs we'll get to in a minute were literally jaw dropping that we found these in a store for $2 a piece. You'll see them in a minute.
I remember when I asked them about it, and they brought me to the back of their store. Like I went inside with somebody, and they had just a whole row of GameCubes, and they had a whole row of Genesis, and they had like 2 Saturns. I actually bought a Saturn from one of these locations.
Were they not selling them?
It was it was just in the back.
Okay.
It wasn't like on display. But I bought it at this place. It was like $10 for a complete black sports edition Saturn.
Yep.
Which is
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast, my bad. So those were the days. Those were the days you could just walk in the store and find cool stuff.
$2 for any of these old games. I mean, there's nothing amazing, but I'd still buy a ton of these today.
Oh yeah.
Just seeing GameCube games in a place that's not called like Play and Trade
or Bookman's.
Right is jaw dropping. And then we're still at the NES. Like you said, you must have bought
I bought
50 of these games for $20 some probably.
It was nothing. It was just awesome. I loved it. Probably half my collection came from this place.
And it wasn't shovelware. They were decent games.
No, there were a lot of decent games in here. I don't even remember most of the titles that were there.
the fat neckbeard and the edgy emo kid. Wait a minute. So this is where things get a little bit wacky.
Oh,
Super Smash Brothers Melee under $2. Tales of Symphonia under $2. In a minute there'll be a Wild Arms 5 under $2. Just RPG, JRPG,
was I here
GameCube
this
games.
day?
You were with me. You were the one holding the games, I believe.
What did I get?
I don't remember what we all got. I just remember seeing all these pretty damn legendary games for $2 a piece.
That's crazy.
And these had just come in. These had just been traded in. Someone got 50 cents a game.
Wow.
Someone traded in these games for 50 cents a game. We bought them for $2 a game that day. and they never reached store shelves because we found them. They were just sitting on the counter.
And these are good games. Like these
are insane games.
Look at the quality. Somebody took care of these games. I'm wondering what would possess somebody like everyone argue with us why somebody might
drug addiction.
Donate
drug
stuff.
addiction. This was a pawn, so he got money. But
Like
he got
money
50
though.
cents a game, which is not any money. But yeah, a lot of pawn shops. People will trade in really expensive items because they want to go get meth that day. They don't want to wait for it. They don't want to.
There's the Saran wrap.
Saran wrap, the epic Saran wrap lot. N64 games in there, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what was in there. There's no spy cam footage from that.
The first time I went, it was 50 cents a game for the N64 games, but I think the time we went again, it was $1. And I was
So
like,
they bumped up the
you
price.
kidding me? There's wow.
Old living room footage.
Oh my god.
And then 1 week later, would you believe that I'd find another Super Smash Brothers Melee for under $2?
That's crazy.
2 of these.
Wow.
In 1 week at the same pawn shop,
God.
which is in today's market, that's unbelievable. We are out, you guys. Thank you for watching Findsight, and we'll be back with another video shortly.
See you guys
later.